Hi everyone, Sumit Chandra this side, and I welcome you to our channel Solution Bridge Network and one-stop solution for all your Power Platform tutorials. In today's video, I am going to show you a complete end-to-end data and reporting solution using Microsoft Fabric. We will start with monthly sales files stored in a SharePoint folder. Ingest those files using Dataflow Gen2, load the data into a Lakehouse Delta tables and make sure that whenever a new file is added in the SharePoint folder, the Lakehouse updates automatically. Then, on top of the Lakehouse, we will create a semantic model in direct lake mode and finally build a Power BI report. This is a real enterprise architecture, so let's get started. Before we start the demo, let me quickly explain the flow. Here is what we are building. Sales files are stored in SharePoint. Dataflow Gen2 reads and combining all files. Clean data is stored in Lakehouse as Delta tables. A semantic model is created directly from the Lakehouse. The reports connects using direct lake mode. The biggest benefit of this approach is no PBIX imports, no data duplication, high performance, automatic updates. Let me show you the SharePoint folder setup first. I already have a SharePoint folder called monthly sales data. Inside this folder, I have monthly sales files like January 25, February 25 and so on. Please note that all files have the same structure. This is very important because Fabric can automatically combine those files. Whenever we drop a new month file into this folder, we want the data to appear automatically in my report. Now let's move into Microsoft Fabric and open the workspace. Within this workspace, we already have a lakehouse setup. If you would like to learn how to create a lakehouse from scratch, we have a dedicated video available that you can check out. Now let's create Dataflow Gen2, and here we will ingest the data from SharePoint. For the same, let me click on new item. Here we can search Dataflow and we can select Dataflow Gen2. Let me put a name, monthly sales data. Let me hit on create button. Now we have landed into the Power Query screen, and from here we'll click on get data, and here let me click on more. Now here we have all the connectors, so let me select SharePoint folder for now, and here we need to put the URL of my SharePoint. So let me go to the SharePoint, and here let me copy the path and come back to my data flow, and here we will paste the URL. Now let's click on next. It will connecting with the data source, and here we can create or combine. So from here also we can combine, as all the file structure are same, we are getting this combine button, but we can click on create as well. So from combine as well, we can compile all those files, and from here also we can do the same thing. Now let me put a query name, monthly sales data. This will be my fact table, and we have the data in content. So now let me right click on here and let me remove the other columns. Now let me hit on this double down arrow icons, and it will start combining files. Let me click on OK. Here you can see all the data is loaded from both the files, those we have in the SharePoint. From here, you can apply transformations using Power Query Editor. Ensure correct data types, rename columns if needed. This step ensures data is clean, consistent, and ready for analysis. Now we will load data into Lakehouse Delta table. Let's configure the destination for the same. Here you can see we have data destination. Let me click on this plus icon. From here, we need to select Lakehouse. Here, we need to click on Next. Now, we have to come to Lakehouse, and now you can see my Lakehouse name, that is Test Lakehouse. If we expand, here we can see all the tables those we have currently in this Lakehouse. This will be my table name. Before hitting on next button, here you can select the appropriate options. So here it will create a new table inside my Lakehouse. If you already have a table with the similar structure, you can load it in an existing tables as well, or you can load this as a file as well. So now we are loading this as a new table. Now let me hit on next button. Here it will auto detect the source and destination data types. We can uncheck this as well, and from here if you want you can change the source type, or you can uncheck columns as per your requirement. Let me hit on save setting. Also, before hitting save setting, here you can see we have two options in the update method. One is append, one is replace. If you wanted to append the data, you need to click on this append option, and if you wanted to replace the entire data, you need to click on replace. Also, we have some schema options on publish. Dynamic schema will automatically detect the source schema, and accordingly it will update the destination data. And in the fixed schema, if schema changes on the source query at publishing time, won't automatically reflected on the data destination but require explicit mapping through its UI. Now we have selected dynamic schema, and let me hit on save settings. At last, we need to click on publish. Once we publish, it will create the data flow inside my workspace, and once my data flow has refreshed for the first time, the data will loaded inside the lakehouse in a table in Delta format. So you can see it's refreshed. Now let me open the lakehouse, and here you can see our monthly sales data is loading. Let me hit on refresh, and now here you can see the monthly sales data that we ingested from SharePoint. So here we have the data that we loaded now. So it created this table inside my lakehouse, and as we familiar, from this lakehouse we can select SQL endpoint, and from here also you can query your data. We should come to a schema, and from here we come to tables, and here we'll find our tables. If you want, from here we can create a new query, and we can see the data preview here. Here you can see the output. At this point, the data is successfully loaded into the lakehouse. Now let's talk about automation. Whenever a new monthly sales file is added to the SharePoint folder, Dataflow Gen2 picks it up on refresh. New data is appended to the Delta tables. Lakehouse stays up to date. No manual file handling, no republishing of reports. This is modern data ingestion. And here, as we already seen, all the months are combined, data looks correct, schema is consistent. At this stage, our data engineering part is complete. Now, let us go to the workspace again, and now we will move to the semantic model where reporting logic lives. Let us create a new semantic model. For the same, let me hit on new item, semantic model. So from here we can select one lake catalog, and here we need to select our lakehouse. So this is our lakehouse. Let me select my lakehouse. Now it is asking me to provide the semantic model name. Let me put monthly sales report, and here it is showing me the tables those we have here. So let me select dim country, dim date, dim region, and monthly sales data. other tables are not related to this model. Now let me click on confirm. So here you can see we get all the tables. Now we need to build the relationship. Let me put the table in the right place so that we can see everything in the same screen. Now let me create the relationships. So we have region ID in dim region and dim country. So let me create a relationship between these two tables and click on save. Now we need to create a relationship between the dim country and our fact table. So let me create this relationship. Click on save. So for now, we just created a relationship between our country and fact cells and in between region and country table. Now let us save this. So you can put some remarks so that you can see it in the version history as well. And from here, at last, we'll create a report. For the same, I can go to file and create a new report. So this is connected with our semantic model and we have all the tables and fields. Now let me create a simple visual first. So I'll take tree map and let me pull region and we can pull out any column. So now let me put net profit. So here we can see net profit by region in our report. Let me click on save button. And here we can put the report name. So monthly sales report. Let me hit on save button. But now let me show you if we want to edit our semantic model or if we wanted to see the mode that it is import or direct query, I will show you here. Again, I go to my Lakehouse. Now let me select my semantic model and let me open it. So here you can see this dotted blue line and here the storage mode is direct lake. So normally we have either import mode or direct query. Now let me explain direct lake mode in simple terms. Direct lake means Power BI reads data directly from the lakehouse. No data is imported into Power BI. No live query sent to external databases. So data stays in the lakehouse. Power BI reads it directly. Performance is very fast. You can think of direct lake like reading data directly from storage instead of copying it or querying it every time. This gives us import like performance without refresh issue, without data duplications. That's why direct lake is perfect for Fabric. Now, let me upload the new sales data. So here we have January and February now. Let me upload the data for March month. So from here I'll select March. And now we have to go to our workspace and just we have to refresh our data flow. We can set auto refresh or maybe we can set some trigger so that whenever any new file added inside our SharePoint, it will refresh the data flow automatically. And as soon as our data flow will refresh, it will automatically reflected into our lakehouse. Let it refresh. So it has refreshed now. Now if we go to the lakehouse and if we check the table, here we'll get the data for March as well. Let's quickly recap everything we built. File stored in SharePoint. Dataflow Gen2 ingest and combine data. Data is stored in Lakehouse as Delta table. Semantic model created in direct lake mode. Power BI report built up on top of it. This is a true end-to-end Fabric solution. Hope you found this information helpful. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Thanks for watching. Subscribe our channel, hit the like button and press the bell icon for the new video alerts.